So the roll of drums is an indication that we have now been joined by His Lordship, the Chief Justice, His Lordship, Dr. Flavian Zeja. He is being received by parliamentary officials, and he will be guided to the tent where he will join the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. And this is now an indication that the only guest that we're now waiting for is His Excellency the President, because now we have got representation by the judiciary, we have got Parliament that is properly formed, and now we wait for the head of the executive, His Excellency the President, to allow or to enable the three arms of government come together for the official opening of the 12th Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. Wherever you are, I'm sure in a traditional style, you can give a warm welcome to His Lordship, the Chief Justice. So once His Excellency, the President, is about to arrive, as soon as we get indication that he's about to come to Kololo ceremonial grounds, we shall have the reception party that will be led by the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, and we'll go and receive him at a point where His Excellency will go through the street guard. The street guard is mounted by the police force, the Uganda Police Force, and we shall expect to hear fanfare from the band. That will allow His Excellency the President to come in. He will be led to his tent, where he shall also sign the visitor's book, the main visitor's book of Parliament. Once His Excellency has taken his seat, we shall proceed with the items as are listed in the order paper. And these will include the anthems, the national anthem followed by the East African anthem, prayers, and then a proclamation by the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament. We wish to reiterate that this proclamation is what actually these grounds, these Kololo ceremonial grounds, as the precincts of Parliament for today. We shall also have communication from the Chair, followed by an invitation to His Excellency the President to deliver his address on the state of the nation. This is one of the constitutional duties of His Excellency the President, and this is based on Article 101(1), where His Excellency, at the start of every session of Parliament, is expected to deliver to Parliament a State of the Nation address. Some of the items that we expect to hear, of course, is the ongoing performance, the ongoing projects that government has undertaken, and the legislative agenda that Parliament will be undertaking over the coming year. There are also several priorities that His Excellency the President will highlight, and these will be found next week when we have the reading of the budget. So after the address by His Excellency the President, Parliament will adjourn, ending, of course, with anthems in reverse order. So the only person that we're now looking forward to welcoming is His Excellency the President, and once he arrives, then we can officially start our function today of the official opening of the 12th Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. Thank you very much. I'm sure many of you can now see the movement on the red carpet, and this is a very good indicator that we are about to be joined by our main guest of the day, His Excellency the President. Thank you. So the Right Honorable Speaker, accompanied of course by the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Clerk to Parliament and other senior officials from Parliament, are just going to form the receiving party as we wait for the arrival of His Excellency the President. Today, the 4th of June, is the official opening of the first session of the 12th Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. And of course, today we expect to have a delivery of the State of the Nation address to Parliament by His Excellency the President, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. While this is the official opening of Parliament, it is also the third sitting. The first sitting took place on the 25th of May when we had the election of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. At that point, His Excellency the President made some very light remarks, and we expect to hear the rest of his agenda today when we have a delivery of the State of the Nation address. The second sitting was on the 28th of May, and today, the 4th of June, is the third sitting of the 12th Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. The receiving party is at the edge of the red carpet. I'm sure you can see the street guard of the Uganda police force that is lined up awaiting the arrival of His Excellency the President. When the President comes in, we expect to have fanfare. That is special sounds that will be played by the Uganda Police Force. I'm sure you can already hear some of the indication that His Excellency the President is on his way here. We're also happy that we've been joined by several select guests, because this session was not open to the public as would usually have been the case. However, of course, we welcome the Secretary General of the NRM and the different members from SEC that have joined us. Our main guest today, our main arrival today, will be in a few minutes, or any minute now, when we shall be joined by His Excellency the President. At this juncture, anybody who is not a member of Parliament is requested to move away, to move out of the main house. Where the members of Parliament are seated is going to be composed or comprised as a part of the precincts of Parliament, and specifically the House. So we don't expect any persons that have not taken an oath of a member of Parliament to be in that space. The indications are quite rife now. I'm sure you can see the lead cars of His Excellency the President that have now made their way into Kololo ceremonial grounds that in a few moments will be declared as the precincts of the Parliament of Uganda. His Excellency will walk through the street guard mounted by the Uganda Police Force and with a playing of fanfare, and be officially received by the leadership of Parliament led by the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, the Honourable Jacob Maxon Zaboth, the Deputy Speaker, Right Honourable Thomas Tayebwa, the Clerk to Parliament, the Honourable Adolf Musige, senior officials from Parliament, and he will be led to his tent where he's expected to sign the visitor's book, and thereafter the procession of the Speaker will start, at which point we shall follow the order paper. In the order paper, we shall start with anthems, the Uganda anthem, followed by the East African anthem. Thereafter, prayers and communication from the chair. We expect that there will be a proclamation by the Right Honourable Speaker, and that will declare these grounds where we are today in Kololo as the precincts of Parliament. This is what allows Parliament to sit here officially and allows His Excellency the President to deliver his address to Parliament. Of course, the President's address is very much a part of the Constitution. Every year, at the start of Parliament, he's expected to deliver his State of the Nation address, and this is under Article 1011 of the Constitution. So the motorcade of His Excellency the President is now making its way to the reception point, and the guard has formed and is waiting for His Excellency to walk through the street guard with fanfare. So we shall just allow you to enjoy that moment. So that was the fanfare by the Uganda Police Band. Now His Excellency the President is going through the street guard to the point where he will be received by the receiving party led by the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, the Deputy Speaker, the Clerk to Parliament, and senior officials from the Parliament of Uganda. Could we receive His Excellency the President? So His Excellency will now be ushered to his tent, to his sitting area. Will sign the Visitors Book of Parliament. We shall also see the procession of the Speaker forming, led by the Sergeant at Arms, carrying the ceremonial mace. I'm sure many of you will remember that the mace was handed over to the Speaker. This is a symbol of the authority of Parliament, the authority of the Speaker of Parliament. So His Excellency is appending his signature to the visitor's book as a show that he is physically present here in Kololo when we have, once again, the three arms of government coming together. So shortly, the procession of the Speaker will be formed, led, of course, by the Sergeant at Arms carrying the mace of Parliament. And then we shall go into the formal agenda for the day, which is the order paper. We shall ask that you all remain standing until we have heard the playing of the anthems, the national anthem, followed by the East African anthem, and then and thereafter, once you have taken your seats, we shall have a proclamation by the Right Honorable Speaker declaring these grounds as Parliament for purposes of our meeting today and making it legal for Parliament to receive an address by His Excellency the President on the state of the nation. The President on the state of the nation. As is stated in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, Article 1011, that mandates His Excellency the President to address Parliament every year. So the procession of the Speaker will now form, and we shall communicate to you once Parliament has ended. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, His Excellency the President and Mr. Speaker.
The anthems. Prayers. Almighty God, who in your infinity wisdom and providential goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants, whom you've been priest called to the performance of such important trusts in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner, so as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you've committed to their charge. Amen.
Proclamation by the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament.
Whereas under Article 101, Clause 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda is mandated at the beginning of each session of Parliament to deliver to Parliament an address on the state of the nation, aware that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda has, in accordance with Article 1011, indicated to the Speaker of Parliament his intention to address Parliament on the state of the nation on Thursday, 4th June 2026. Now, therefore, in accordance with Rule 18.1 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I hereby proclaim, 1, that Parliament shall sit at Kololo ceremonial grounds on Thursday, 4th June 2026 at 1400 hours to receive the address of His Excellency, the President, on the state of the nation, and 2, the Kololo ceremonial grounds to be the precincts of Parliament the above-mentioned purpose, given under my hand at Parliament House, Kampala, this first day of June 2026.
Communication from the Chair.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museven, Her Excellency the Vice President, Major Retired Alupo Jessica Ipel, His Lordship, the Honorable Chief Justice, Dr. Flavian Seja, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, the Right Honorable Prime Minister and Leader of Government Business in Parliament, Robin Nabanja, the Right Honorable Leader of the Opposition in Parliament, Joel Senyonyi, Cabinet Ministers and Ministers of State, Honorable Members of Parliament of Uganda, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to this official state opening of the first session of the 12th Parliament of Uganda, during which we will receive the President's address on the state of the nation. Honorable members, the State of the Nation address is a key constitutional address pursuant to Article 1011 of the 1995 Constitution, delivered by His Excellency the President to Parliament to outline the government's achievements over financial year, address pressing national challenges, and lay out government's legislative agenda for the upcoming session of Parliament. I take this momentous occasion to formally congratulate His Excellency the President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museven, upon retaining yet another mandate of the people of Uganda. In the same vein, I congratulate all of you members of the 12th Parliament upon your election. I implore you to bear in mind that an election victory is only the foundation of leadership. What follows is the hefty responsibility of governance, fulfilling campaign promises and ensuring social cohesion. Your Excellency, on behalf of the 12th Parliament and on my own behalf, we affirm our solid commitment to the realization of the government's tenfold growth strategy, our national economic blueprint designed to expand the country's GDP from roughly $50 billion to $500 billion by 2040. Honorable members, the State of the Nation address, which we eagerly await this afternoon, is particularly historic. It will be the first of 5 annual addresses of its kind by His Excellency the President. That will mark the start of each of the 5 sessions of the tenure of this Parliament. Your Excellency and honorable members, you will note that the physical attendance of this annual occasion has been restricted to only the members of Parliament, as a precautionary measure in response to the prevailing threat of the Ebola disease. Parliament recognizes and appreciates government's swift response in ensuring public health and safety whenever such situation arises. And I want to thank you for your kind attention.
Invitation by the Right Honourable Speaker to His Excellency the President to deliver to Parliament an address on the state of the nation.
Your Excellency the President, Article 1011 of the 1995 Constitution grants you the mandate to deliver to Parliament and to the nation at the beginning of each session of Parliament your address on the state of the nation. The House is greatly honored by your presence this afternoon. Honorable members, as we welcome His Excellency the President, I draw your attention to and urge you to abide by Rule 10 of the Rules of Procedure, which provides in Sub-Rule 4A that the President, while occupying the chair of state, may make a presidential statement which shall be heard in silence and not followed by any comment or question. I now take my maiden and singular honor and privilege to invite you, Your Excellency, to address the nation. Your Excellency, you are most welcome.
Excellency, the Vice President of Uganda, Excellency, the Vice President of Uganda, the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, and all the other leaders and fellow Ugandans. I'm again very happy to address you on this occasion of the State of the Nation Address for the year 2026. First of all, I thank and congratulate all the Ugandans for having participated in the series of elections ever since the 15th of January 2026. And for massively supporting the NRM. Thank you so much, Ugandans. Above all, I thank God for all these victories and for the peace in the country in spite of so many evil people that have been plotting to disturb the peace. During the presidential address, during the presidential inauguration, I put forward a call of no more sleep. Some people are already distorting it as just no sleep. It is not just no sleep, it is no more sleep. And to clarify the message, I should add no more corruption, obscurancy, no more Kongora, leaning on your hole when others are digging. That's called Kongora in our language. No more kugumaza, kuzia, diverting somebody's attention from the real target to a wrong target. No more to hinder, overburden us when we work and we are just sitting down. And no more politeness to non-performers who want leadership for their own ego and personal interests. This is the Exanja, no sleep. The story of the NRM and Uganda starts in the early 1960s. Personally, I started waking up our people in 1959 when I visited Mbara Stock Farm as a junior secondary 1 pupil at Mbara High School. Having come from the Ntungamo area that was democratically outside the money economy, and everybody was on Okora Ichida Chonka, working only for the stomach, subsistence. Combined with the school education, when we came to know about the enclosure movement in the UK, Oksiba Sengenge for agriculture, the Industrial Revolution in Europe, etc. By 1965, the sectarian politics of the political groups notwithstanding, our ideas about the socio-economic transformation had coalesced. It was clear that the small enclave economy of the British, of the 3 C's and 3 T's, was a disaster for the majority of the people. You want proof? Just look at the infant mortality rate in 1962 and the average life expectancy in 1962. there were 128 per 1,000 live births, and life expectancy was 46.8 for everybody on the average. We soon grasped the importance of having vertically integrated and horizontally integrated national economies. In the 20 years of chaos between 1966 and 1986, our views were eventually into the 10 points program of Kanyara. Kanyara was where we wrote this document in 1984. Point number 5 of those 10 points run as follows, in quotes: building an independent, integrated, self-sustaining national economy. However, for the people to participate in the vertical and horizontal integration of the economy of the country, they had to join the money economy first and move out of the traditional pre-capitalist economy of working for a chida chonka, working only for the stomach, just subsistence. Since my nomadic family, because my family was nomadic, since my nomadic family had migrated from Tungamo to Nyabushozi, it was the good luck of Nyabushozi that we started our activities there. These activities involved sensitizing the population of the cattle corridor to stop nomadism, make enclosures around their land, Sengenge, engage in commercial agriculture with the Chivaro, Chura, Aymar, cultivation for profit and maximum returns. You can see in the videos, let them show us some of the families we started with, if they are there on the videos, their testimony.
Amazina gange estamagaga witu nahan waheta gwengwe inshweringi ahampa tkejeho gwankaga netano ahampa erienskonka bakandi bagete empango keri empango nese eteine bhinge teine keriembura ry'ikishaka twatahomo kutwabere turi umuntu turisa turi nko twatera nk'abakara mujya mbwene President Ijumu ari umusenya ya mukaga yataya yo makaga yitu tukugira ngo akataragira ngo naragira akari umwana wishomero tukanto mukeza n'imyaka namwe ninjye mukeza ubundi yaha ninjye mukeza tukanto mukeza imyaka akatsomesa ry'umwana yatsomesa okutura okuhinga okuombeka amashu gatakugira ngo n'amabati agagutwayombekere bwanyuma g'ebihome okuba batuza umunsi okurera kuzengerera okurera kutasha kutwabanda nambwine nkaitwe nkanya nkenjo yange ekeha cye kutasha kanyabhara konka yatutanga yatwegesa ibintu birungi yatwegesa okushitama yatwegesa okutura yatwegesa twaba abantu mbwine kuko abantu babire abari kumanya bukuru ko babire bari itwe tukatara nk'abakaramogi kigamba matkatara nk'abakaramogi hakabakaramogi bakabaturana bafurka na mpurira ngo abegesa abandi akabareta mpani mpurira nabone bagambe ya ururimi rw'abantu nuya atikiza no kuturkushoku no kutuyimukona no ataine kakwate nangu no kuba umuntu nakwentukantumkiza emyaka itwe tukantumkiza emyaka hari hati nangu nimukira n'ubundi yampa hati kuyahereze kutwegesa ebintu ebyo kutwayega kutwayombeka amaju g'ebihome kutwaba abatuze kutwarera kufuruka kutwahinga yagira omukishaka yayongeraho icya kabiri yayongeraho twatunga enjungu yayongeraho obwenge bwo kugemura
ntukama rita bishatu buri izooba ritemwe negura shiringi 90 kuri kubazamu buri izooba n'emitwaro 28 ko kubazamu mu kwezi nizo miliyoni 8 n'esente zikushagamu
yayongeraho twayombeka amaka marungi nambwe n'ekyanga kitu ekyo n'ekindi kuheraho kanisa aha kanisa yitu erigarukira hindugarukira n'ahandi ahindi arabira obumbaire nyina amaani omutarumbana icyanga kitu kurugaha kuhikarisa iri kuhindugarukira tarubana kungu abana bana kunu bateze empicengaro tubariho nutimba rero kandi kangenda ebyo byona nuyabyegesa ihanga iri turumwe iri turukuzanira mwiri haje amasomo mukanye kutere somo n'emyaka yanjye.
So there you have the testimony of some of the families we started with in 1966, end of year. That old lady was speaking in Nyankore, and she said that when we came to teach them in 1966, we were students having finished A level, and we told them to stop. She was saying that they were like the Karamojong at Katun Kabakoromuishu, nomadic. And if you read our booklets, if you are polite, if you singamwe towazako, if you can make yourself a bit humble to learn from smaller people like us, then you will see how we argued with those traditional people to stop from nomadism, stop nomadism, and have settled agriculture, grow crops, and so on. Now, she was saying that because of the insecurity, we had to go away to fight. But when we came back, 1986, we added the issue of going now, not only just being settled, but being settled and also doing commercial agriculture with the Chivaro. That's why we advise them to go into the farming, because dairy farming was more for smallholders and medium people. It was better than beef ranching. Beef ranching needs more land. Now, that model, which started in the Nyabushozi area, has spread to the whole cattle corridor south of the Nile. There's a man called Matongo in the Ngoma area. Let's see what he says.
amazina ninjye George Matongo wa Ngoma mu hano gwatakashozi nandi kutaha umurimo gwanjye ndi muri isa nteze mujya kureba nuko itandikira tatakanda ngento bakubya talobo hagwakidana Meirisa zakanya nagura amataka nyuse nazo zankorera ibintu kwenda zashubitiza abana abana bihereze naturuho kabanza mu nyankore naje nahindura nk'umwata ngo nzungu nuko zahanyuranye natunga
On our farm, we collect over 900 liters of milk per day, and a liter costs 800 shillings, which is approximately 21 million per month.
So now this is now another side of the cattle corridor, Ngoma, Nakaseke district. But the cattle corridor is continuous from the border with Tanzania in Isingiro all the way up to northern Uganda. But much of the work we have done so far was in the south of the Nile, from River Kagera up to Chiriandongo. They have all changed. Now that man is in Goma area. The infrastructure is not so good, but you can see they are having a lot of money. That particular one is selling 900 liters of milk per day. The price is low, it's not high, but they still get 21 million shillings a month. You can see that girl there, she's educated because of the money which the parents have to pay for her in the schools. And they have moved from the other small houses which the old lady was showing you to now permanent buildings to live a better life. Now, that is the testimony from the cattle corridor. That's why this time really I am no longer interested in non-performers. Between 1986 and 1989, we campaigned for prioritizing the enterprise of dairy farming for the small and medium farmers, while the big players could continue with the ranching for beef. By 1995, the cattle corridor had started changing. People getting income per month from the milk, building better houses, paying school fees for children in paying schools. Indeed, our late Magaga is the husband of the other lady who you saw. The father of Lieutenant General Kavu is here. Is he here? He's a big general now. Oh, you can see how big he is. There he is. Now, their family with the wife and the husband who died. Indeed, our late comrade Magaga the father of Kavuma, came to me and told me that he did not know what to do with the money. When they started getting money from the milk, he couldn't believe it. He came to me. I said, you are people really, once you say you are a leader, you are putting a problem on yourself. If you don't become a real leader, God will not like you. I can assure you of this. Either you lead or you stay in your home. Don't try to be a leader when you are not, when you don't care about the people. So Magaga came and said, a citizen should be recognized. Because the people are paid every 15 days. They are paid. And this had never happened in Magaga's life. She had never seen it. That a villager is being paid every 15 days, being paid money. Being paid every 15 days. That's what he told me. As if I am working in a government office and being paid a salary. That was the tragedy of Uganda at that time. Only the civil colonial servants could get regular income. This change in the cattle corridor by the traditional families of Abatasoma, because these people had never gone to school. Magaga had never gone to school. His wife had never gone to school. To change Abatasoma, the ones who never went to school, was engineered by us, was against the advice of the professionals. Professionals did not believe we could change these people. They would tell me, you are wasting your time. Those Banyankore cannot change. They were all saying to a man that the Banyankore could not change from their pre-capitalist lifestyle to a money economy. Moreover, when we were doing this, nobody among the colonial elite would agree to support us. It is only Museven who gave us 20 shillings. With my colleague Mwesugwa Black, who died in 1972 in our wars, we used, the only person who helped us gave us 20 shillings. That's about $3. $3, just short of $3. Because a dollar that time was 7 shillings, $1. So $3 would be 21 shillings. So Museven, when we went to say we are going to mobilize the Banyankore to stop nomadism, other people refused to help us. Museven gave us 20 shillings. With my colleague Mwesugwa Black, who died in 1972 in our wars, we used 7 shillings per person to use Mongonya's bus from Baraturushere through Ruhumba. That was 14 shillings. So out of our 20, we used 14 to come from Baraturushere. 2 of us, each one 7 shillings. Mwesugwa was a smoker. So he took away shillings 120 to buy a packet of Sportsman. That left us with 4 shillings 80 cents. After holding public meetings at Rushere, we used the Bazarona bus to a place called Katongore, each using shillings, 1 shilling and 20 cents. That is 2 shillings and 40 cents. In the Katongore area, we started moving on foot up to near Nama, where we spent the night leaning against the harvested millet. When we spent one of the nights, we spent it leaning against the millet of one of the